Hey everybody, if you're watching this the day this video goes live, Merry Christmas. I hope you're having an amazing day and hopefully you're watching this either after your celebrations are done or maybe while you're getting ready for your celebrations, or if you just need a little break from the family today, this video is here for you. But I've specifically planned this topic. These are Amazon items I use every single day in my life, in my home, because this is a video that will last past Christmas. So if you're just getting to this a few days later or months later or what have you, these are still consistently items that I use every single day, whether you're watching this December 25th, 26th, or March 30th. I hope there's some things in here that will be helpful to you and your everyday life. So I thought it would be fun to go room by room and share with you those items that I've been using consistently, most of them over months, more of them over years, that have shown up for me and made my life easier. Because that is the key here, right? The reason we love Amazon, of course, it's more budget friendly, generally speaking, but these are those little life hacks that make getting through the day that much more enjoyable and easier. So hopefully some of these will work out for you. Where to find the links? Well, Amazon is not part of the YouTube shopping program, at least not yet. So I will put up a little handy info box here to let you know where to find those links. They are down below the video. That is the easiest way to describe it. Let's get the video started where I start my day, in the bedroom. So before I even get out of the bed, most of what I'm surrounded by in my bed is in fact from Amazon. So let's take a look at a fully made up bed from the linen duvet cover, possibly my favorite purchase for my bedroom. I am a hot sleeper. I love the look of a nice fluffy duvet cover and I want to burrow in under it. But most of the traditional fabrics leave me sweating in the middle of the night. And I think a lot of you in my age group or older can definitely identify with that. So this linen duvet cover is outstanding. And I'm gonna be sharing all the links for my personal colors and sizes, but obviously this comes in lots of options. And one of the size options, or several of the size options that I like here, is that it goes beyond your traditional king size to much larger sizes. And when you see, especially with interior design photos, and they have the big overflowing duvet and down comforter insert, usually it's because they order a size up. So if you're looking at a queen size bed, which is usually what's photographed, they're showing it to you with a king size comforter on top. Hard to do if you already have a king size bed. Well, this linen duvet cover comes in sizes larger than a king size bed. So it's how I get that big oversized look and lets me burrow in under the covers even in the summertime. And inside of that is this down insert. It's just as fluffy as those big, heavy, warm ones are, but I live in San Antonio, Texas, and I am a hot sleeper, so I don't want the warmth, but I want the coziness and the fluffiness. And this lightweight down insert is a keeper year round. I used to switch mine out for the seasons. This one I keep in year round. I'm warm enough in the winter and cool enough in the summer. Now when the bed is fully made up, I personally love the look of it. I've got some layering going on. And what you're seeing first of all, the Quilted Shams with the floral pattern, that is part of a quilt set from Laura Ashley. I have the matching quilt as well. And sometimes I drape that across the foot of my bed. Lately it's been a waffle stitch blanket that is not from Amazon, but I will link it just in case you are interested. Then the Euro Shams, those are those big white square shams with the blue interior border. Those are also from Laura Ashley, and I found those on Amazon, as well as the smaller square decorative pillow that has sort of like a medallion on it, also part of the Laura Ashley collection, and the lumbar pillows as well, just those oblong sort of slate blue color, also part of the Laura Ashley collection. But what's key is what is inside all of these pillow cases. So I get my pillows from Amazon, the ones that I sleep and put my head on, and I will link to that. One of my most requested links and most shopped recommendations are the pillows I use to actually sleep on. And they are on all the beds in my house, and they are on all the beds in my family's house, wherever they happen to live. And then something that is not talked about enough are the Decor pillow inserts, what I'm putting inside the big Euro sham size, the decorative square pillow, and the lumbar pillow. I will link, I don't know why I'm pointing. They're down there. I will link to that pillow insert. It's one link and you have all the different size options. So this time of year when I wake up, it is still dark outside. So the next thing I reach for is my lamp. So I have sconces on either side of my bed. I really like the idea of an individual sconce on each side of the bed instead of a table side lamp. Frees up more space on my nightstand, and we'll get to the nightstand in a minute. And it's just a softer, prettier look, I think. So I will link to these. I love them. I can't believe it took me so long. Well, I'll tell you why it took me so long. I thought I needed an electrician to install the sconces and then some sort of switch. But no, these just plug into the wall. I did get a cord cover. You can find those on Amazon so that it looks like it's built in, mounted to the wall, but it is just plugged into an outlet at the base of that wall. But then I also added this dimmer switch, which is, I keep saying this is one of my favorite things. Like, I use it so much, but it has changed my not sleeping experience, but my awake time in bed experience. That sounds a little odd. Don't let your minds go where I think they're going, because if I want to sit up at night and read or look at something, I can have my side of the bed lamp on, but just dim it just slightly. Or if I just want a softer look, that dimmer switch really works. And I know this is ridiculous, but at night when I'm super tired and I've pushed it too long, I am so extra lazy and I don't want to reach even farther to turn off a lamp. It's just set right on my nightstand and it's just barely a reach over and off goes the sconce or the lamp. So I love that. That dimmer switch doesn't have to be used there. Super easy to use. You basically just plug the dimmer switch into the outlet and then you plug the lamp into the dimmer switch plug. And there you go. No electrician needed. Now that we're on my nightstand and we're about to get in my nightstand, the next thing are charging cords, which sounds ridiculous, but I do all of my reading on an iPad and I want an extra long cord because sometimes I'm sitting up in bed, sometimes I roll over and I'm reading on my side, either facing the nightstand or away from the nightstand, and I don't want the cord to get stuck or kind of strangle me if I end up falling asleep. So I want a 15-foot long charging cord, and I found them on Amazon, so I will link to that extra long length, and I've been very pleased with it. Speaking of reading in bed, like I said, I read on my mini iPad using the Kindle app. This iPad cover, I have ordered new ones every time I get a new mini iPad. I just love it because it has this rubber band that keeps it closed, especially like if I throw this in a purse or a bag or something like that, and then open. It just sits up nicely at different heights. And you can get it in different colors. And in particular, it has the holder for my iPad pencil. So it's an all-in-one deal, super handy, comes in other sizes as well, but I have never found an iPad cover that I like as much as this one. Next is the charging station. So the charging station is where I put my iPhone on at night. It holds my Apple Watch and it has a little place to charge my AirPods. Super convenient. We have two of those, one on each side of the bed, been using it for years. Then in the morning, I wake up and have a cup of coffee first thing, no matter what. And I have had this same mug warmer that you can also use as a candle warmer if you would like for, I think it's a decade now. It might be longer. I'm gonna have to go back and check because I've bought so many of them over the years to give as gifts. I can't see when the original order was. It's $18. What I like about this is it doesn't have an auto shut off, because most of the ones that do turn off before I'm done. I want to linger. I spend a lot of time in bed in the morning. Yes, kind of hanging out, reading, whatever. But I get my workday started there as well. I'm answering emails, responding to comments, looking up things, and I want to just sip my coffee in peace. And the other thing I like about it is that it's not pressure activated. So if an animal happens to walk by and hit it, it's not going to turn on or off. I love this one. I've looked at other ones. This one is my favorite. Now, next thing I do after I have my coffee, or as I'm having my coffee, we've reached that age where we need pill organizers. And this is just half the month. I love this one because I have morning meds and I have evening meds. And this is actually half of the pill organizer set. It is a full 31 days. So this one is, what are we on? Days 17 through 31. And then there's an extra one here for morning and night. And then the other half of it that's sitting in my nightstand still is days 1 through 16. It's super handy. I can fill up my entire month in one shot and then be done. And it's really big, so you can fit all your supplements and all your things in these very conveniently. It also helps me keep track of what day it actually is, because sometimes I lose track. And then as I'm sliding out of bed, I have quite the slipper collection. Most of them actually are from Amazon, but this is my most worn pair, probably because often I'm then taking the dogs out, and these have more of an outside sole to them if you need to, run outside. And I love the shape of it. It's more of a shoe, less of a slipper. It has a nice fuzzy lining. These are from last year, I believe, and they're still very fluffy, and they're reasonable for what they are. It's not like purchasing an UGG slipper. And then, of course, this whole time I've been breathing in cleaner air thanks to this air purifier that I have been recommending for years and we love, and it's very quiet and it's very efficient. And what's really important is that the replacement filters are very inexpensive. Now let's move on to the bathroom. There are quite a few things in there as well. First of all, I'm going to be popping out my retainer and placing it into an ultrasonic retainer cleaner and popping in a retainer tablet to go with it. I did Invisalign. I still sleep nightly in a retainer, so I need to clean those every day. And my husband is almost done with his Invisalign journey, so he has one as well on his side of the bathroom. And we both have our own cleaners and our stash of tablets. And I've gone through a few different tablet brands, and this is the one that I like the most. It doesn't leave really any residue in the container, and it doesn't leave any lingering taste or odor to the retainer. Kind of important. On to some little conveniences. This is the tissue box holder that I have put in pretty much every room in my house. So it's an acrylic tissue box holder, and what's cool is if you have a pretty tissue box like this one, I think it's the Kleenex brand, has come out with some really pretty ones. You can just plop it in. Mine is an older version and it has this, it pulls out this way. The updated one is actually much better and easier access, but you can either leave your tissues in the box and just slide it in, or let's do this on camera together. You take them out of the box, and this kind of a really cool kind of modern look. You pull them out of the box, pop them back in here, helps you line it up, and then slide it back in. Ta-da! What's cool about this is it's a very clean look. You don't have to worry about if the tissue box matches your aesthetic. It also lets you know how close you are to being out of tissues. So pretty handy. And along with that, on my sink vanity, I have some more canisters and things. So this little acrylic drawer is fantastic because the top of it has a little bit of a lip, which is great for corralling certain items that we will talk about in a moment. But inside, it is the perfect size to hold these disposable facial cloths. So I use these for a lot of things. Sometimes I use them for washing my face at night, especially if you're dealing with acne or you have some sort of infection. Then you don't have to deal with the cross-contamination. You just use this to wash your face, you throw it out, you get a new one. Tomorrow Says is great for teenagers as well who are dealing with more bacterial type acne issues. Great for drying your face if you don't want to get your nice hand towels dirty with any makeup that may still be on your face. We try our best, but we don't always get all of it. There's just lots of ways to use this, and they're very thick and they're very absorbent. So oftentimes I'll also use it to wipe down my sink every night or every morning. And then on that top lip, what I keep up there, I have this canister set. It comes in 3. The tall one I keep Q-tips, and it's about time to refill this. This one I keep my cotton rounds to remove my eye makeup. And then there's another one floating around somewhere. I can't remember what is in that, but I utilize those every single day. This is a new discovery, this gentle toothbrush. If you have super sensitive teeth and or gums and also don't love flossing, this is a great option. They're almost hair-like bristles, but it's not gross. It doesn't feel like you're brushing your teeth with hair, but they're super, super soft, and they're very flexible, and they're very fine, so they do get in the nooks and crannies, but because they are so soft, they will not irritate your gums. I love them. They were recommended to me by a dental hygienist, and they're so inexpensive. You can have them just stocked up for guests that come and what have you. I will never go back to a normal toothbrush again. We also have these suction cup towel hooks, and they come in different finishes. If you need a gold one or a brass one or a black one, There are different options. It sits stuck on my glass shower door. There's really nowhere convenient to hang towels and robes and stuff like that. And occasionally it will fall off, but mostly when it gets really, really, really dry outside, it can hold a lot. Like I have a full robe on there, a bath towel, usually one or two other items. Oftentimes I'll use that to stage my outfit for the next day. So a full outfit on hangers, the weight holds up, doesn't fall off overnight. Really convenient. You can use them in other places, but I really like them in the bathroom. And then this next one might be a little bit of an overshare, but if you haven't tried a Squatty Potty, I highly suggest it, especially if your husband is one who stays in the bathroom forever. This will move things along in the literal sense. If you have any issues with constipation, I thought it was a load of, well, crap. But I gave it a try anyway, thinking I would get on here and debunk it. Nope, it moves things along in a much quicker way. It's a much more efficient way to use the bathroom. And yeah, I'm not bringing my Squatty Potty in to share with you, but there you go. All right, let's move into the laundry room. And I don't do laundry every day, but when I do, these are the things that I love. So this laundry hamper I've had a little over a year. I love how big it is. I love that it's on wheels. I can roll it from my room to the laundry room and so forth. I like that it has 3 segments in there, so I can already sort my laundry. And I love the aesthetic of it. I think it's pretty. Also, something I didn't realize I needed until I had it was this magnetic lint trap and I call it the dryer sheet holder. It also could stand in for the lost and found stuff, the random things that you find in pockets. I use it to keep my dryer sheets. It's magnetic, so it just sticks on the side of my washer and my dryer, and it is so convenient. It's just those little things. It just makes everything a lot easier. And then I thought this would be the great place to share the 2 steamers that I use all the time. I used it on my sweater to steam out the creases on this. I have a travel steamer that folds up, very, very popular and definitely strong enough to use every day at home. You don't have to save it for travel use. But if you want something with a little more water in the reservoir and it can stand up on its own, this is the one that I reach for lately more often than not. It's a little bit more of a powerhouse. It has 4 steam settings. You could pause the steam. It just has a little more going for it than the basic travel steamer. Let's walk on into the family room. Not as much here. The one that I think a lot of you will really enjoy is this outlet extender. So most of us have some sort of large furniture pushed up against the wall, and then you can't access the outlet behind it, but you don't want a typical power strip extension cord because that sticks out from the wall and then you can't get your furniture flush with the wall. Well, this is an outlet extender, and that the part that plugs into the wall goes flush against the wall, and then it has more of a standard extension cord part to it. We have one behind our sectional and actually one behind our media cabinet. So really great way to make those still accessible. Next, this is more of a seasonal thing, so maybe not every day, but I run cold when I'm sitting on the couch watching TV, and this one is newer. I've always had some sort of heating pad, but I really like, look at this. I can't even fit the whole thing in the screen. It's not a blanket. It's definitely more of a lap size, but I can turn this on and I can have it from here to like the middle of my lower legs, and I'm all cozy, and it has different heat levels and different amounts of time before it shuts off. I love it, especially this time of year, so I had to include it because at the moment I am using this thing daily. Surprisingly, not a ton of things in the kitchen, maybe because I don't cook every single day. But one thing I use every single day is my commercial size Keurig. It does all the things your regular Keurig does. It just has a much larger water reservoir. That's really the main reason that we got it. Before that, we had, I think, the Keurig Elite that we also ordered from Amazon. When I do cook, I use the Caraway cookware set. I love the pots and pans. This is a recent addition to my kitchen stuff, but huge, huge difference. I love it. If you don't want to spend that amount of money, the Beautiful cookware line by Drew Barrymore at Walmart is very similar. I would say the Caraway is just a little bit more elevated, but the Beautiful line is a nice, more budget-friendly dupe. This is another thing, and I didn't even bother to clean it off, so I don't know if it's picking up on camera like water rings and stuff. This is a little kind of stoneware tray that I keep right next to my kitchen sink. I normally have my dish soap, hand cream, and hand soap on here, and I upgraded to this, or changed to this, when I was just sick of seeing the water pooling off of whatever cute little tray organizer I had for those things. It didn't stop the water from dripping everywhere. This is that kind that absorbs the water. You guys can kind of see, let me just insert a picture there, how it works, and it's fantastic. I do recommend maybe washing it off once in a while, which I'm a little behind doing. Also, this French door air fryer, my husband just cannot stop with this. He loves this. He loves the French door thing. I like that it's stainless steel. There is none of that non-stick Teflon bad chemical stuff inside. Still very easy to clean, huge size so you can fit a ton in it. If you happen to be in a place where you don't have an oven, this has pretty much replaced our oven. I rarely turn my actual oven on. And then lastly in the kitchen, these chair leg protectors. These are, again, little thing that made a huge difference. Normally when I push or pull a chair in, you hear that horrible screeching noise as it drags across the tile or wood floor. These are amazing. And what's great is you don't have to deal with the sticky pads or screwing them into your chair legs. It slides over the base of the leg of each chair. It goes up about this high and it has the felt in it. So not only does it protect the chair feet from the scraping and protect your floor, it also protects, like if you're aggressive with a vacuum or a mop and you're banging into those chair legs, not a problem because it has that little sort of clear plastic vinyl, whatever, around the edge. So very protected. Let's end in the foyer / dining room. In my house, that's kind of the same area. Technically, it's a living room, dining room combo, but we turned it into basically one big dining room. Starting with the dining room table. The table is not from Amazon, but all of those chairs are, both the side chairs that have like the arms on them, and then just the regular chairs that go down the sides of the table. They're all upholstered, they're beautiful, they're classic, and I ordered all of them from Amazon. I want to point out I don't eat in my dining room every day, but I walk through there every day and I enjoy the view. Also, we have a set of lamps on the buffet. I had been looking for something like this for ages, and everyone that I had found was super expensive. This pair comes, I believe, in a few colors, very classic. I just went with the white, but what I really like about them is I have them on a timer. So they turn on every evening, basically at dusk, and then I turn them off, I don't know, about 11 or 12 o'clock at night, I think, or maybe I have them running through the night. The timers also ordered from Amazon. Also want to share this console table. It's right inside my front door. I have a very awkward asymmetrical entrance, and I really wanted an entrance table to leave keys or just, have something decorative, but I needed it to be super narrow, and I looked everywhere, high end, more budget friendly end. And it was Amazon that came through clutch. Now my exact one is no longer available, but of course it's Amazon. So I found a couple that look really similar. One is the same width, it's as narrow as what I have, but it's a little bit longer. And then the other option I found is the right length wise to fit there, but it's a little bit deeper. So check those out. Hopefully it'll fit a problem area that you have in your own house. Did I say we were ending in the foyer dining room? I was mistaken. There is one more room in the house that I spend a lot of time in, and that is my office area. So just a few things that I use and love every day, starting with my little easel desk calendar. I love this guy. Probably hard to see with all the light coming in my kitchen window, so I'll pop in a picture of it there. It's just pretty to look at, and I like seeing the whole month in one shot. You may have noticed I have a little bit of trouble staying on task and focused. This visual timer is a game changer. It doesn't tick, 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 tick. It's right here. You go from 0 to 60, and you can see how much time you have left without it being distracting, without maybe it's on your phone, and if you're tempted to pick up your phone, then all of a sudden you're on Instagram scrolling for the next half hour. No. If you have any issues staying focused, whether you have diagnosed ADD or you're just menopausal and can't stay on task, this thing is fantastic. Also great for helping kids stay on task for homework. Also, this acrylic shelf, initially I purchased this to have a desktop monitor on and then store stuff underneath it like my laptop. I've moved to a laptop and I just like it for more vertical storage basically on my desk area. I don't have the cleanest, most organized desk area, so this allows me to just shove some more stuff up there, and I really, really like it. And then lastly, I'm old school and I love to write things down. So these notebooks, I've been getting these for years. They are hard-covered spiral notebooks. They come in lots of fun designs. This is for next year. I already ordered one. This is what I've been taking notes in for this year. This is the second one I've gone through this year. And I love that it's hard-covered because it is a hardcover, because if I'm throwing this in a bag or taking it on the go, it holds its shape. Everything stays nice and neat. I do love the patterns. It does come with, hard to see in the black one, but there's a little folder here if you need it. This one, I love, okay, you're not gonna see this, but it's narrow ruled, it's perforated sheets. The paper's a little bit thicker as well. In this case, you do get what you pay for, and I think these are well worth it if you're someone who takes a lot of notes and wants to refer back to them in an easy way to keep track of things. I love these and I had to recommend them. So that was a rather exhaustive list of all of the items I use on a pretty much daily basis that all happen to come from Amazon. Hopefully you found something to make your life a little bit easier. If not, I hope you just enjoyed spending some time with me. Maybe it's a distraction from something you'd rather not do, so I'm glad I can help there. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope that you had fun, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.